Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am CodyTheWriter and I am on the journey of going from a writer to an author in 2024. In this video, I will be answering 10 questions about my current work in progress, Project GWC. I reached out to some friends, I went onto the Faceplace, onto the Twitter, the X, whatever you want to call it, and I asked a bunch of people if you had the chance to ask one of your favorite authors who had an upcoming release just any question about their story that you want to know, a little sneak peek, what would you ask of it? So through that process, I found 10 questions that I'm going to answer for you people today about my current work in progress, just to give you a little idea of what it's about and what to look for if you were to buy this book. If you're excited for today's video, leave me a like down below and then subscribe to the channel. I post videos every Monday and I would love to have you. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Question number 1, what genre is it? Project GWC is going to be a new adult mystery thriller, full stop. Like I mentioned in my very first video on here, that's the genre that I love to read the most, so of course it's going to be the one that I love to write in the most, and that is what Project GWC is. It is a new adult slash could be adult, it depends. I have to do some research to see how some of the themes that this book deals with falls in those two categories, and that could end up determining whether it ends up being new adult or adult. But one thing that I know for certain is that it's a mystery thriller. Question number 2, how many characters do we follow? So we actually follow 5 characters with a bonus character in certain flashbacks. They all fall somewhere in that 21 to 24-year-old age gap, and I feel like I really did some really interesting things in this book that really helps you get to know each individual character. More on that later. Question number 3, were any of the characters inspired from my life? I definitely have some names of some of my friends or close family that I use that I put in the book, just because I feel like that character kind of might have some of their personality traits, but they're not fully based on anyone in my life. The main character, his name is Logan. I kind of see him as myself, and so a lot of his actions and reactions are actions and reactions that I would have in real life. And so I feel like he is the only one that is truly grounded in a real person that I know, because obviously I know myself. And the rest of the characters are just like a hodgepodge of like personality traits from people that I know in my life, but not solely based on one particular person. Question number 4, where does the story take place? So the story takes place at a school called Westview Writing Academy, and no, it is not a real place, and it is not based in a real city, but the location of it, in my brain I imagined like the western part of the United States, and I imagined like, you know, like a car driving around like the edge of a mountain, like those like car commercials that you see, like that sort of vibes. That is where the story takes place. Question number 5, what POV can the reader expect to be reading from? So the main story is told in third person. There's like this omniscient narrator that is telling the story. I felt that that was the best way to capture the actions of all 5 characters without limiting myself to just one POV. And so that's why I did that. But there are things that happen, things that get released as the story goes on. There are moments where we get single point of view chapters from each of the main characters in the book. The actual present day story is third person. You know what everybody's doing all at the same time, but whenever things happen to certain people, you get those individual POVs to really get to know their thoughts and their inner feelings, their emotions, their traumas, all that good, juicy stuff that I love when developing a character, is just giving them an entire backstory and finding out why they do the things that they do. I eat it up. I eat it up. Question number 6, when is the first death in the book? Chapter 1, baby. Technically, it's referencing a death that happened in the past, but is relevant now and is becoming re-relevant because perhaps the report that was filed on this person's death was inaccurate. That death is sort of what the story is revolving around, and that's sort of my inciting incident in the story, and you'll just have to read it to find out more. Question number 7, what is the timeline of the book? So the book takes place over the course of what I believe is going to be like a 2 to 3 month time period. It starts right at the beginning of a school year in August, and I feel like it sort of ends and comes to its like climax right in like October. But like I said, there are a couple of flashbacks weaved in there that kind of give you a little more background on the group dynamic. One thing that I am not the biggest fan of is a flashback for no reason. I don't want to ever give anyone a flashback that has nothing to do with the plot of the book, and so every time there is a flashback, it is because it has something to do with what is happening currently in the story that you're reading. Question number 8. What themes are present in the book? So as far as themes go, one of the biggest themes in the book is legacy. I really want readers to contemplate the idea of what will people say about me once I'm gone from this world? What will they say? What will they have to say? Will they say he was a good person? Will they say he wasn't the best person? Will they say, oh my gosh, he was so fun to be around? Like, how far will your story reach after you're not here to create the story anymore? That theme is pretty prevalent early on in the book, and then I feel like I have plotted a little way to wrap it all up with a nice little bow at the end without just like smacking you in the face with the theme. I don't like that. I don't want you to be like, and here's the theme of the book, and I really hope that you picked up on this, and if you didn't, you're an imbecile. No. I feel like you should take your theme and just like weave it through and just like let it have little pieces here and there, so by the end they're like, oh, I get it, I understand it. And whenever I was telling my parents about the plot of this book, they kind of like picked up on that, and they were like, I really like that, because that's something that literally anyone that's alive can relate to, because I feel like anyone that is alive wants their story to live beyond their mortal body. It's a little something that we can all relate to. There's a couple other smaller themes in there, but the main one is going to be the theme of a legacy. Question number 9. When did you get the idea and what inspired it? So every summer whenever I was in college, I had these two friends. They were brother and sister, Nick and Brittany. The summer was really our time to dive into our creativity, because a lot of our mental capacity was used for our degrees, and so we would spend the summers to really come together and just be creative together. My friend Nick, his creative outlet, he loves to make video games and like do coding and things like that, create digital art for those video games. It's really, really cool stuff. He tried to teach me one summer, and I think I made a little game about a corgi. I think it was like the corgi that could, and it was like you played as a corgi and you had to collect all the little bones. Yeah, that's about as far as I got. But it was actually Brittany who, she loved to write and do things like that, and so we kind of bonded on that level. And so she kind of had an idea about like an academia series that she wanted to do, and she asked me if I would help, bounce ideas back and forth with her. And of course I said yes, because that's what I live for. And so we were talking about it, and I kept, bringing out ideas, and me being the dark human that I am, my brain went to like Chamber of Secrets, but like without magic. And she kind of decided to back away from that story because she really wanted to focus on graphic novels. And she actually has a comic series that she is releasing right now. It's called The First Human. I'll link it below, but she is amazing. She's a wonderful artist, and she has become so successful with that story, and I'm so happy for her. But whenever she kind of like, backed away from the idea, I asked her, I said, so how would you feel if I kind of took what we started and then elaborate on it and make it what my brain was wanting it to be, a mystery thriller, murder and secrets and lies and all that good stuff. And she was super cool with it, and so thus Project GWC was born. And the final question number 10, how long have I been working on it? So like I just said in the last point, the idea we got was a summer while I was in college. I've been out of college for 5 years now. Oh God, I'm getting old. Been out of college for 5 years. And so the idea is at least 5 years old. And I did start it a couple of times, and I would start, and then I would realize, oh, this isn't really what I want it to be. I would give up. I would start, and then I would give up. And you want to know why I failed all those other attempts? It's because I was a pantser, and I did not plot a single thing. And most of the time I would write, I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. And then I would get stuck because I'd be like, oh crap, where am I going to go next? But now, this go round, when I finally decided to come back to it, because I ended up going and taking a break from writing because I wanted to get my master's degree, and I got that in 2022. And then I really wanted to get back into reading, and then last September, I think, is when I really started to fully plot this idea out. I have like an 8-page Word document that is just the plot of the story, the bare bones, like the roadmap, if you will, where I want to go. And I just, created little character avatars. I downloaded this like workbook to like give them character profiles. I really took the time to make sure that there was a story there before I started writing it. And I felt like that has really helped me a ton. I am currently right now on the edge of the 20,000 mark, which I don't think I ever made it past the 10,000 mark the first couple attempts at this, so we're already doing so much better than the last time, and I'm very excited for you guys to read it. I'm very excited to finally be able to take this book out of my brain, put it in my computer, edit the crap out of it, and one day hold it in my hand, and it'll have my name on it. It'll have a cover that's really cool, and it's gonna be so cool. And that's all I got for you guys today. If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Leave me a comment down below if there's any question you'd like to ask that I just happen to not answer in this video. And if you want to follow my journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you're notified every time I post a video. I'm posting videos every Monday, and I decided that on the Mondays that I'm not going to post a video, I'm most likely going to do like a live writing sprint session. And so I'm going to have that set up. I hopefully am going to be doing my first live writing sprints live stream, either the beginning or the middle of March. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Until the next time I see you guys, bye!